branch audit, including the central statutory audit. They will come forward after this bank branch audit process is over to share their experiences and show that an appropriate institutional level feedback can be given at the appropriate level. So these 4 parts are there, today's panel discussions. One is part A is support from banks, central auditors and banking data challenges, time limitations. B is on documentation issue. C is on part C deals with the irregularities, and part D any other issues which the August audience feels. Our chairman, C. Adismudi Venkateswara Rao Garu, is very kind enough to come all the way from Hyderabad, apart from administrative work, to participate in this program. I request him to say a few words before the panel discussion starts. Thank you.
Today's panel speakers, CA T. Chandrasekharan Garu, CA T. Sukumaran Garu, CA Mahesh Krishnan Garu, my dear fellow members, good evening all of you. Every year we are doing bank audit. Now this year we thought of having some review, so that because every time, this time particularly after PNB issue, everybody is simply blaming chartered accountant without our fault. So hence what we thought is, let us have one internal panel discussion so that we can give some even feedback if necessary to the RBI. So that is our intention, because I also had done audit as a statutory audit of Andhra Bank. What I observed, particularly when in our olden days, these cooperative banks used to do some adjustments. A person who took the loan used to pay only interest, and they used to put total entry as if cash paid. Again, they used to sanction on the same day itself. Unfortunately, today, whether you observed or not, it is being followed by all nationalized banks. It is a fact. According to me, all that loans must be treated as NPA. But unfortunately, it is being treated as performing asset, because these politicians, without thinking anything, even state chief minister simply saying that they are encouraging even farmers, even genuine payers are actually not being encouraged, because a person who pays, he has not been given any relief, but a person who is not paying has been given relief. If you see now, you also observe OTS. A person pay genuinely every month, even a person who takes home loan or any loan, you will not, even if you take even FD, they will not, if you deposit more than yes, they are decreasing the rate. Now, we need to look into all these things, particularly even coming to our role, we need to look into that. Particularly, whenever a person takes loan, if he doesn't pay, that it has to be treated as non-performing asset only, which is not being done so far, which we have to look into that, and we have to, unless otherwise we come together and we brought to the notice of RBI, this cannot be actually solved. Because what I observed is all banks, when I raised this issue, I said I want to make total 9 crores as NPA, and even to gold loans. They are doing these entries, they are passing and it's very intelligently. Then I called for all vouchers, even vouchers also there. Then I said, show me your cash book. What cash denominations you have received? You make cash scroll book. Because even though today digitalization is they are maintaining even denomination wise. They fail to do it. Then DCM comes, everybody comes. It is being, they say all banks are doing this. Particularly even only agriculture, because this inter-subvention is there, that claiming inter-subvention. Again, even governments are saying you need not pay any, you need not pay, we will get, in fact 1/4 is being paid by government also. That loan is being paid by government. Again these bankers, over smart bankers, again that also they are giving as a loan. So we need to look into it, sir, because this is a fact. Because this is my observation. I have gone through, because I told them, don't give this type of branches tomorrow, because you will have a problem. Unless otherwise cash is received, how can they put entry? Bankers are doing all these entries like that. Coming to digitalization, demonetization, you have seen people who are having 6 crores, 7 crores. How it will go without bankers' knowledge? It has to be, see, they have to look into that aspect. But unfortunately, our elders in the government are blaming chartered accountants. Our role is nothing. No chartered accountant advise evasion. We only advise tax planning. That's all. With this, I left to the panel speakers on the subject, because they are the masters in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, sharing your rich experience. Because even that one-time settlement, even for applicable for the personal loans also, apart from that agricultural and businessmen, even personal loans also, they are compromising on the interest outstanding. A number of banks are going for this thing at the cost of the genuine borrowers who are very prompt, particularly the home loan borrowers, because all these mortgage properties and other thing. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable experience. And I would like to introduce today's panel speakers. Brief overview. Our dear Chandrasekhar sir is a former director and audit committee chairman of Karnataka Bank Limited, Bangalore. Presently independent director Indbank Housing Limited and independent director Suncow Trans Limited, Chennai. He is a fellow member of the institute, apart from qualified in labor law and administrative law, and he has been worked with Indian Bank as a specialist chartered accountant, and served Indian Bank over 30 years in various capabilities. And he has also served as a vice president in Indian Bank Mutual Fund, and presently he is specializing in DAS, and he is applicable to banking institutions, and risk-based supervision also he is specializing. And after the service in Indian Bank, he has been working practicing as a chartered accountant. And as far as our T.G. Sukumaran sir, he is a very well-known speaker amongst us, like our Chandrasekhar sir. And he is qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1977, and he has worked in Andhra Bank and various capabilities and capacities, and he has served 21 years of in the service of Andhra Bank, and he has been concentrating on the concurrent audit of many nationalized banks and private banks for the past 18 years. And he is also helping the CP committee of our own SIRC also in various technical aspects. He has been guiding us. And as far as the Magesh Krishnan sir is concerned, he is a practicing member of over 15 years, apart from cost and works accountants and SIMA of UK based qualification, and valuation course of our institute, and information system audit course. And he has been associated with leading CA firms, and he has been travelled throughout the outside abroad also for providing these audit services. On behalf of the SIRC, I extend a very, very warm welcome to all these panelists, and we would like to start with the presentation by our T.G. Sukumaran sir. Thank you.
Good evening to everybody. We thank the chairman and his SIRC, Mr. Additionally, for being with us today and share his experience. And today's session, we will have a feedback of your audit experience. I think we conducted one program before your commencement of the audit also, how to do audit. I think now you can give how you have done the audit. What are the problems you faced while doing the audit, the branch audit or central audit, whatever case may be. How you solved that problem, or you have not solved the problem, leave the problem to us, we will give some solution for it. Let us have some feedback from you and interaction from you in this regard, so that my colleagues Sukumaran as well as Magesh Krishnan will be able to interact with you in detail in respect to the areas which we select to answer. In fact, if anybody wants some PowerPoint presentation, I have got one PowerPoint presentation on how to audit the international division of the branch or transactions of the branch. That also I got it. If anybody interested, I will present that also. It will take 20 minutes. You can talk anything on the subject of branch audit except, sir, we have not been provided with the chairs, etc. They want us to complete the audit within 2 days. All these things, because with these difficulties only we should be able to do it, because we are a professional chartered accountants. Whatever be the difficulties, yes, we will do our duty. That should be the attitude. And the moment you go to the branch, generally you have all the types of encouragement to do the audit. But next day they start asking, when are you leaving the branch?
When are you signing them?
Right. So that is the attitude which they have been developed probably, but we are not developed in that fashion. We know what to do and what not to do, and we will do only accordingly what we have to do. Whatever institute guidelines says, what the RBI guidelines says, etc. Unfortunately or unfortunately, I have been in this field for more than 45 years in bank audit, etc. Dealing with branch auditors, dealing with statutory auditors, dealing with, as a director with the statutory auditors, interaction with them. And being myself as a statutory general auditor, branch auditor, concurrent auditor, so my experience is a little bit better in this regard. With all difficulties only, I am also doing it for the past 45 years. But nothing prohibits a chartered accountant to discharge his duties whenever it is called for. That is the quality we possess. That is the quality which government also still believe. Government may say that you have not done the duty, but at the same time they want us to do in all the responsibility where they want to take, they want us to take. That is the efficiency of chartered accountant. Unfortunately, this is the first program of the CPA this year, and I would like to also add that I have been co-opted to the CPA committee of the Central Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountancy after this year, 18-19. This is also my first probably a session. Like our first meeting is going to be held on this 7th of this month. With this, we will start the session. Better you come out with your views, or shall I come out with my views? You come out with better.
Hello, good evening. I am Srikanth. I would like to present one unique problem I faced during the bank. Okay. See, this is later on I understood this is happening with almost all the banks, but this is the first time I faced it. This is regarding underutilization of the limits. For example, a particular borrower has been sanctioned 5 lakhs. Okay, he has utilized 23.5 lakhs. So, what the branch has done it is they have debited the advance account for the balance 1.5 lakhs, credited to the respective SB accounts. So this has happened on 31st of March, and on 3rd of April, that is after the bank closing was over, they have just reversed the entry. Okay. So in that manner, what has happened is advances figure was artificially inflated, and also the accrued interest portion was also artificially inflated. So the branch came out with a very innovative reply. They said, we have the consent of the borrower for debiting this interest. Okay. And when I could not make a total count of all the accounts. I was able to see at least 65 accounts of this sort. And then I really don't know what to do. Because this has been done, and okay, I have very limited time. I can't approach all the borrowers and ask whether they have, if this action has their consent or not. So what I did was I made a remark on the LFAR, on the window dressing column. Again, I couldn't list out all the 64 accounts which I have listed about 5 or 6 accounts. Apart from this, is there anything to be done in such cases? That was this first thing, and I had two more issues also. Shall I continue? The other one is regarding one CC account. I think it's about 3 crores, I remember. So in that case, the branch has received stock statement, which was a stock and book debts limit. The stock as on, I'm talking of 31/3/2017. I had the balance sheet of 31/3/2017, and based on which and based on other projections, they have renewed the limits. The renewal proposal was received somewhere in October 2017 or something like that. But when I asked for the audited balance sheet on 31/3/2017, it said the stock value was 81 lakhs. The stock value as per the stock and book debt statements given on 31/3/2017 in the first week of April 2017 was 3 crores. See why this difference? The branch showed a stock audit report as on 2nd of April saying that it had sufficient drawing powers. So again, I was at loss to what, I couldn't take a decision there how to deal with this. I again made a remark in the LFAR saying that this is what has happened. Okay. So, however, they had a stock audit report done on 2nd of April, dated 2nd April 2018, completed till March 2018, saying that, which says that enough drawing power is there, barring 1 or 2 petty objections here and there. So these are 2 issues. I just needed the panel's expert advice on this issue. Thank you.
Yes, sir. One first point is regarding the window dressing done by the bank. It is done, I think, in almost all the branches.
It is a routine.
And the bank used, in fact, bank used to issue a circular. Even I used to issue the circular stating that in the month of February nobody should do window dressing. That means indirectly saying that you do window dressing. I think it is videographed.
Video going on.
Right.
No, you want
Let it
shop.
be, sir. It is transparent. See,
Right.
whoever is having
Yes.
CC limit, the bank
But,
requires the
but-
borrower to utilize this.
Right.
It
But
happens
coming to
everywhere.
the subject of the one thing is there in that even the Reserve Bank inspectors also go through all these things. As he rightly said, he has mentioned the LFAR, right?
Yes.
Window dressing has been done in this branch. Even if you know the quantum of it, indication itself is enough. From that, the regional office, zonal office take the figures and do. One more thing you can do is you can ask for MOC. Again, credit the borrower and the deposit account to be reinstated. That is one aspect. But there is one provision in that even the RB inspector says, if anything done at the request of the borrower, at the request of a not overrun, it should be in return. And return it should be, and if he pays the interest also for the 5 days, that means he has availed the advance. It is the manager discretion. Probably he would have sanctioned this advance beyond his discretion. That is only internal problem. But it is an advance. It has fetched interest for the bank, and in such cases we cannot find fault with the branch. But we should get. In fact, when I went for this time audit of Coimbatore main branch, I find same window dressing the branches. And then we said that you get a letter from the borrowers. Because of the 4 consecutive holidays are coming in the month of March and etc. We don't. We have only one current account. That only we have internet banking facilities. We have to make payments through that. So please allow us to transfer a sum of rupees my loan account to this account, and after 4th of April, if I am not placed, you can retransfer the account to the loan account. We agreed to pay the interest on these 5 days. So once the interest is also collected, it is tantamount to advance. And we need not say that is a window dressing. That is a stand taken by the RBI inspector also. At the request of the borrower, whatever you do, it comes under the customer relationship, maintenance, etc. If the bank itself sumo out as it without any authority from the customers, then it is a pure window dressing. You have to pass a reversal entry. You are right to give MOC on that. Then second point is the difference between the stock statement, auditor stock statement, balance sheet, stock appearing in that, and the audit report, stock audit report given by the some auditor.
The audited
Which-
balance sheet.
Auditor balance sheet, some stock is there, but stock audit report says something. The stock audit is audited one and unaudited one.
No, see, audited balance sheet was on 31.
17.
17. Stock audit report was dated 2nd April 2018.
Oh.
See, when I questioned that there is no drawing power as on 31/3/2017, the manager said, showed the stock audit report and said, now today they have it.
No, the RBI rule says If any time during the year if the account is operated beyond the drawing limit for more than 90 days, it becomes an NPA. That is a rule. So I don't want to explain further. This is a rule. This is thing happened. You decide about it.
No, even stock statements, it has to be unpaid stock.
Yes.
Stock
That they have to
stock
decide.
statement cannot be like that.
Yes.
Unpaid stock.
What is the total
Lot of
stock?
issues.
Less unpaid, less margin, then only the drawing power comes. If the drawing power is nil, if it is more than 6 months old, in this case, in September itself, that becomes an NPA.
And apart from that, sir, because even the firm, it has been credited to the individual accounts, SB accounts, which even though they give letter, we can ask, because the very purpose is given only for business, not to create SB accounts. That also we can have objection, we can raise that objection.
No, it's not SB account credit, is it not?
SB.
Actually, I asked them how is it they are allowed to operate SB account.
SB accounts means it is a,
That is wrong.
it's a commercial account, current account means they can do it.
I even told them when somebody has been sanctioned a CC account, why are you allowing them to operate an SB account? But that has been happening in my expertise. I have been doing bank audits for the past 10 years. It has been happening in every branch.
See, to add to what Vidor is saying, some of the banks, suo moto, will be debiting the unutilized portion of cash credit and crediting the deposits. And one more thing is, they will not charge, as our TRCs are said, if they charge interest, it's all right. If the borrower has given a letter, it's all right. The borrower would not have given the letter. They would not charge interest for the 5 days, number one. And there are another GL entry passed by the banks, debiting the savings bank FD account and showing the SB account for CASA deposit also there. So even though it is only GL entry, this also we have to see. Thank you.
And, just to add to that, you said there are 65 accounts and you have listed about 5 or 6 accounts in the LFIR. One important role is when, as branch auditors when we go to the branches, because today we are in a situation where people are questioning whether the need for a branch auditor is there or not, whether we can do the audit sitting from the central office. These are the places when human beings go to the branches, they will be able to see the pulse of the situation. And when you find that the type of aspects are there, this can be even found out maybe sitting at the head office, but it's not easy to find out. So I think we need to insist on these aspects, like Sir said, we should pass an MOC, and even if it's for a small amount, make them feel the effect, because only then over a period of time, it will add up. Small grains will add up to the whole granary. And I would also suggest having some analysis like this, we should have a database where these type of issues are brought down, common issues which are there in branch audit. You bring it and keep it in a database, even in the institute, I would say, without naming the bank, branch, or auditor.
Yes.
And we should insist that all these things are reported at the branch level, because only from the grassroots level, the system issue can be brought out. Sitting at the head office or central auditors, they will only be able to take the hints from the branch auditor and then see overall what is happening, and they can bring up a design flaw. I will just read out. This is one from this is a presentation made to an audit committee of a bank. Which audit committee I am not saying. Divergence in stock value as per audited financials and stock statements. Branch auditors have reported instances where the value of primary security as per audited financials was significantly lower than the figures as per stock statement furnished to bank for the same date, that is 31st March something. The branches do not have a system to call for explanation from borrowers in such cases and take corrective action. Instead, the stock statement certified by the borrower is continued to be accepted and DP worked out accordingly. In our opinion, in such cases, the branch should obtain explanation from the borrower for the divergence in the figures at least within a month of receipt of the audited accounts, and the reply is not satisfactory. Reset the drawing power. In the other cases, bank should direct the borrower to get the stock statements for the current year certified by the statutory auditors of the borrower until such time the bank is able to draw comfort from the borrower's declaration of the stock value. Because what happens is we say somebody does this, anybody can do this, nobody becomes somebody, nobody like that. So I think we'll have to fix the problem and make the banks accountable for it, because they say we get a stock statement from the management, audited figures are there. There's no point in, they don't compare it, and we have to fix it up. I think that fixation is something that only branch auditors can.
For finding out the window dressing, you need not spend much time or your brain. Take the weekly of 24th March, take the weekly of the 31st March, Take the weekly of the 5th April. If you compare the deposit, you will know whether window dressing is done or not. For 1 minute work only.
Can you see the small clarification, sir?
My name is Srinivasan. Just a typical case, just I am explaining to you. One of the leading transport operators, who is an omnibus operator in Chennai, he has availed two facilities from the bank. One is a term loan, the other one is a working capital. They have offered 3 properties as a security. It is fully secured. As far as the advance is concerned, it is fully secured. Whereas the transport operator don't need a working capital. Why I'll explain to you. On a daily basis, on an average, 10 to 12 lakhs is being credited to his account by way of online booking. Even that is for 1 month or 2 months in advance. So, according to me, that transport operator don't need a working capital because that scheme doesn't apply to him. It applies only to the trader. And apart from that, in the audited financial statement produced as on 31/3/2017, they had a paid-up capital of 10 lakhs and the accumulated loss was 3.6 crores. Totally their capital was eroded. I was asking the chief manager of that branch, he is telling, sir, it is only a secured overdraft. Then I have told him, you go and discuss with your zonal head. This particular party is not eligible for working capital as per the schemes of each bank has a different product. According to the product of that company, that bank, they are not eligible for the working capital according to me. But he went and discussed with the zonal manager, if this is there, the central statutory auditors will ask, you request the branch manager. Then I have told, what is this? It is fully secured. Security is different from other parameters. Here, there is a negative net worth. They are not eligible for bank finance at all, according to me. And only I was able to report all these things only in my LFARA, but I could not do anything on other parameters. Just I need your clarification on this.
There are 2 aspects to it. One is you have the internal framework of the branch, some particular product is there. Now ultimately, those are all bank to bank, it may differ. So in terms of the initial evaluation of the particular prospect and granting the loan and the powers that we give that as per the thing, that is something that you can comment upon in the LFAR. Then after the loan is being sanctioned, if there is as you said, there is a term loan or there is a cash credit, we have to go as per the NPA norms to see whether it is being serviced properly or not. If it is being serviced properly, even if it has been given in the wrong sector, which you can give it to the LFAR, I think you only need to look at the NPA guidelines and see whether it is an NPA or not. There could be companies where it is running at a loss, but still the particular credit is not an NPA. As long as they are able to save it. In this case, I don't know whether it is an NPA or not. That parameters of NPA has to be looked into.
Only NPA parameter alone, we should not look into this. Other criteria for availing the loan itself is in very big question mark.
Prima facie
Is
is
not at all
pursuing the prima facie of a sanction of working capital, which is valid.
Yes.
Because working capital is being sanctioned based on their needs. Gap. There is no gap.
There is no gap.
That's what is a
Your point is valid,
Valid,
but that
valid.
is not in the scope, according to me, correct, my seniors and other people here can also correct me. Our scope as a branch auditor is for the true and fair view of the balance sheet and profit and loss account, together with the RBI regulations thereon. So to see that 80% of the thing is advances, where it is, whether it's proper or not, NPA guidelines are there. Other places it is there. Though what you are saying is, but in the P&L and balance sheet, in the main audit report, there is no scope to do that. I think Sir has a point there, please. Sir has mentioned it. That's what I am saying. So what Sir has said, he has done it in the LFAR, that is sufficient, and we cannot go beyond that in our main audit report and do anything. Although it may look like a crime ab initio, as an auditor, our scope is restricted. If you go beyond that, we are taking onerous responsibility on ourselves, which is a dangerous thing for auditors.
No. The negative net worth, I am talking about 3.5 crores is the negative net worth of that particular enterprises. And also, they talk about security alone is not the criteria for lending to any enterprises. There are other parameters where we need to consider in
Absolutely.
granting the loan.
Absolutely. So you're right in mentioning the LFIR, and we should not carry it to the minority report. That is the conclusion.
Yeah, because LFR, they have to give report, they have to close that, so they have to justify that.
Correct.
No, in the LFAR, there is a discussion about the sanctioning of advances, whether the norms given by the RBI or government or bank has been followed or not. Under that section, that is comes under loans and advances. Under that paragraph, we can give the following advances, given working capital is not necessary according to the following reasons. However, the bank has sanctioned it. That's all you can mention.
Yes.
But anyway, sanctioning advances beyond their powers or beyond the norms, etc., will not make the account NPA. Will not make the account NPA. NPA is separate rules.
Sir, this is Mahesh Kumar. One of the cases where the real estate owner, that Sarfasi notice is issued in the year 2016. They have identified 15 to 2016 itself is an NPA in the Sarfasi notice they so told. Subsequently, they paid some amount, then make it as a standard in one quarter, then make it at the second quarter as a substandard. Whether it is feasible or we have to make it as doubt. Because it is in the year February 2016. Because that recall of advance is over there itself. There is no transaction, further transaction is there.
Instead of commenting on this account, I'll comment on two aspects. One is when an account has been made NPA and we are satisfied about that, when it has to come back from out of NPA to a normal position, in terms of term loans, a term loan can always be overdue for 2 months. But the moment it hits the third month, that 90 days, it crosses the line to NPA. You have to make good all the overdues to come back to the normal position.
So that is a normal thing.
That
This
is
is a
normal.
Sarfasi. This
Sarfasi
was for
is
recalling of advance. The ones that there is no renewal at all, there is no progress at
No,
all.
even the Sarfasi Act, when the case is filed, still when the borrower want to repay the amount,
We can accept.
the bank can withdraw the Sarfasi Act and get the amount and get
No,
it.
it is still alive, sir.
Ah,
Sarfasi Act is alive.
alive.
Recall of advance is allowed.
Right.
But the ones the notice is the one notice is out, he will pay 120 lakh, 30 lakh. But there is no transaction. There is no renewal of limit is there. Nothing is there.
But the 20 lakhs has been credited to the borrower's account?
Yeah, borrower's account and 1.5 crores is the limit. Sir.
No. Well, after crediting this amount, the account is normal?
That they are telling normal, but assessing the
No,
case.
you can work out that. You
No,
can
no,
work out, view the
that
amount.
is, it is prior to my period. That is
Oh,
prior to my period.
No, but the account is existing on the date. The balance will be existing, is it not?
The balance is existing. There is no renewal at all for 2 years.
No, when you go for audit, irrespective of the when it was sanctioned, the balance outstanding on the particular bill, you are responsible as an auditor. I can say only that whether the process of sanctioning is done properly or not, that aspect I need not go because it is some other period. But as far as the balance is concerned, you are certifying including that balance, assets and liabilities are shown properly. So that you can work out the drawing power from that account and find out whether it is still in NPA or not.
But the Sarfasi notice is issued.
No, that is a different aspect. Sarfasi notice is what are the method to recovery process. That is only recovery process. Suppose the borrower pays the entire amount,
No,
I can withdraw the Sarfasi.
That not as per the EMI terms he has not paid. That is the problem. And also it is 15 to 2016
That is why
Sarfasi.
you have to work out the EMI and find
Yeah,
out
yeah.
what will be the balance today, what is the actual balance. If the balance today is less than the balance to be there, it is a performing only.
At that time, as far as it is non-performing, they were classified as a substandard, sir.
When it is originally sanctioned. Subsequently it has become, subsequently when the amount credited to the borrower's account,
Yeah.
the drawing, what is the drawing power, you find out. What is the balance? If the balance is equal to the drawing power or less than the borrowing, it is a performing only. There is no question of non-performing. It is a term loan, you said. If it is a working capital, I will give a different view. If it is a term loan, means we have to work out the.
In the case of renewal of limit, what we have to take a stand, sir? There is no renewal of limit for 2 years.
That too you can take it separately. Anyhow, it is even if you say that is an NPA, what will happen? No provision necessary, no interest reversal necessary. Then what's the purpose of classifying it as an NPA? Classifying an NPA is only two. One is what are the uncollected interest to be reversed, and secondly balance to be provided. In this case, there is no question of balance to be provided. It is within the drawing power.
No, it is not a crime. I am not saying that it is within the crime. It is, they made us a standard at 1 quarter and they made it as a substandard, but they are surpassing notice dated, they are telling 15 to 2016 is an NPA. That means it is a doubtful asset.
Because one of the conditions for going to SARFAESI, the account should be classified as an NPA. That is a fundamental condition. Unless you classify an account as an NPA, you cannot go to SARFAESI Act. So they are classified as an NPA and got to the SARFAESI Act.
Okay.
Subsequently, there are negotiations between the borrower and the party. Is that I am paying amounts, whatever the defects I am rectifying it, please accept it. They accept it and I can withdraw the SARFAESI note, or when the court hearing comes, I will say.
That still alive, sir. SARFAESI note is alive.
No, let the notice be alive, because I can't go, and unless the court calls me for a hearing, I can't go and disturb them. So when the hearing comes, I will give instruction to the lawyers, withdraw the case. They will withdraw the case at that time. Because that is one of the agreement between the borrower and the bank while accepting this amount. That should be one of the conditions. We will withdraw the case if you pay this amount.
So once it is they have paid within the limit, we can upgrade.
Yes, they will upgrade. It's upgradation.
Entire amount.
Entire, all the defects which made the account NPA should be rectified.
As on that duty.
Yes.
That what happens, correspondingly they have given a housing loan.
Oh,
It's a real estate.
the credit has come from the sanctioning of another loan?
No, not a sanctioning another loan. That anyhow it is a real estate, then one project is going on, that funded by the one bank. Then subsequently that housing loan is taken from that same bank, that they have defaulted.
That once the account became performing, nothing wrong in giving another loan.
No, that is a transaction between the others,
Yes.
but the same property that they have taken over, that is undivided share of land has been
So
taken
long
over.
as the total value, the security covers both the loans.
Yeah, that has been taken care properly, but there is an NPA is there. That housing loan, they have not paid since the project is not completed. They have not.
But RBI rule says if an account of a borrower in one particular bank is NPA, then all the accounts should be classified NPA. But it never says if the particular borrower's account is NPA in some other bank, this bank also should be classified as. That rule so far fortunately has not come. If Canara Bank account is failure NPA, the same borrower done with Indian Bank, the rule doesn't say Indian Bank also should be classified as an NPA. Only the RBI inspectors, when they come, they will do that job, not the bank.
So in order to get sanction the housing loan, they made the NPA account all right. That's why made it standard. That's one of the conditions. Crux of the things, for that only they made a standard one.
Extending to the window dressing again. So 12% of the advances of the branch, which was unutilized limit, made as a utilized limit and debited to advances, then deposits increase and it amounts to 12% of the total advances of the branch. Okay, this reporting in LFAR and other things are there. And two aspects, rather three aspects which I would like to know from the experts here. One, for the unutilized credit limits, there is some risk weightage and other things, etc. Based on that, the capital adequacy and other things which are taken care of at the central office level. So, whether this point from the branch auditor level, this should be brought into the LFAR. Second, since it is around 12% of the advances and maybe around some 4-5% of the deposits and that thing, whether affecting the true and fair view based on the materiality, it should be brought into the main report itself. Then the third point, for any unutilized limit, if it is more than 50%, there is a charging of commitment charges by the bank. So these unutilized credit limits deemed to have been utilized by this kind of an entry, for this income leakage also should be brought into the LFAR or a MOC to be provided for. And last but not the least, when this was brought to the notice of the, or it need not be brought to the notice of the, when it was discussed with the branch, then it happened in two accounts. One, they were in a position to get instrument from the borrower for this adjustment. In the second case, borrower refused, and the entry was on 30th March and the reversal has happened on 2nd April, which is not a, which is a non-banking day. Is it possible to pass an entry on 2nd April? Can we accept that? Thank you.
Right. Is it this year 2nd April you mean, or
This year.
this year 2nd April is not a non-bank, it's a banking working day only. Only 1st April it will be a holiday.
Working, they have subsequently declared as holiday, 2nd April.
2nd April in
Bank closing.
Tamil Nadu.
Monday, it was Monday, earlier in the calendar and others it was not there, but government finally decided it will be a holiday. 2nd April was a bank closing day.
Bank closing day. If first happens to be Sunday, then second will be the bank closing day.
No CBS was working.
So, but bank closing day they can pass vouchers. It is only for outsiders there are no business, but bank has to work on the day, on the bank closing.
But CBS was not working, sir. CBS was not working. CBS was not available.
It was working. I was in Coimbatore.
Some banks was working.
No, it's working.
Second, I started the audit of Central Bank of India.
Yes, it's working, sir. Second it's working.
Second is it's a outside holiday only, not inside.
Outside holiday means, is it possible to pass an entry utilizing an instrument to reverse that?
That is the second aspect. There are three aspects in your question. First is one simple answer for all the three questions is you should have passed an MOC.
See, with regard to the commitment charges, you have to go guided by the policy of the concerned banks. And if you feel that due to commitment charges, P&L account is going to affect, definitely you can pass an MOC. I think you should have passed MOC for that. Thank you.
What was the main report?
You can't mention in the main report, sir. You can't mention it. MOC is mentioned in the main report only. MOC is now part and parcel of the main report.
Number of MOC you have mentioned in
We
the
are
report.
talking about only classification of advances. What about the parameters of sanctioning of loan? Any irregularities in sanctioning the advances? That is what I was about to bring into your
Sir,
notice.
any irregularity sanctioning, unless the account, it makes an account NPA, you can't mention in the MOC or etc.
Hello.
Suppose the manager has given advance of 500 crores, it is not his power, sir. 500 crore advances, our party is availed the advances, he is paying interest. Can you classify that account as an NPA because it is sanctioned beyond his power?
I am not talking about NPAs or classification. You leave alone the classification of advance. I am talking about the sanctioning of advance, irregularities in sanctioning the advance. There I wanted to mention because
You want to mention LFAR?
LFR only.
LFR
That's what I am
only.
telling you. We are all talking about only
Only
advances.
LFAR.
Advances alone is not the audit. There are other parameters where we have to look into the audit of the
That is why
bank.
LFAR has been framed. What you cannot mention directly in the main report, which is not going to affect the true and fair of the balance sheet or profit loss account, should come in the LFAR, not reversal.
See, I want to add one more point in this. See, as a branch auditor, we can question the delegation authority if it is not exercised prudently, you can mention. Suppose a chairman or the executive director is sanctioned. Say, chairman is known to me. He has sanctioned me 3 lakhs as a cash overdraft, clean overdraft to TG Sukumaran. You cannot question that. You cannot sit on the judgment.
They have to seek the deviation for that.
No, see, the chairman has sanctioned this. That sanction letter is there. What you should see is whatever the conditions stipulated in the terms have been complied with. That's all.
See, the duty of the auditor is not to guide or advise the bank how they should give advances. Our duty is only how they have given the advances. I can't say you give a loan this side, this is no.
It is none of our business.
Yes. Similarly, the sanctioning, etc., it is the prerogative of the branch. If they are done wrongly, mention in the LFIR.
Sir, coming to the first question, 65 accounts, the account, CC account has been debited. See, when you are mentioning in the LFR, you should be very subjective. You cannot say generally. In most of the cases, we found that the stock statement is not obtained. In most of the cases, the OCC account has been debited and the SB account should be credited. There should not. You will have to give the correct instances. Then only, because myself and TRC have been taken about 15 to 20 sessions in various centers how to conduct that, and we've been telling very clearly. Simply you cannot mention the stock statements are not obtained. In most of the cases, insurance has not been renewed. In most of the cases, branch manager has not visited the stock. You will have to be mentioned. In the following cases, the stock statements are not obtained. In the following cases, bunched stock statements are received. In the following cases, DP is not calculated properly. You will have to be very specific in LFIR. Thank you, sir.
Sir, for LFR, they have given 14 annexures where we are going to mention each and every loan account number, what is the...
LFR 3 we can mention.
You can give annexures, sir. Yeah, you can give annexures.
LFR 3 is there, we can
Annexure,
mention.
separate annexure we can put.
You can give annexure. If number of accounts are more, if the space is not, so we give annexure.
Separate in
You put as per annexure, we
Yeah.
are giving.
separate annexure we can.
Sir, in the case of head office account, no, where there is a debit is a huge amount, credit is huge.
Okay.
How we have to vouch that it is correct? They are telling that no statement of reconciliation is received, or anything is, all the things are perfect like that. They are telling. How? What is the method in which we can ensure any mechanism is there? Because we are certifying the balance sheet by saying this 100 crores, 200 crores like that. Some bank is the head office account like that. How we have to assess that?
See, now that all banks are under CBA system, the question of reconciliation of head office and branch doesn't arise at all. Number two, there may be some wrong entries may be passed. Instead of dating Calcutta main, I would have debited Calcutta 4th branch. So that wrong entry may be there. Only debit is transferred to some other branch. That the reconciliation department will find out and shoot a letter to the branch. On a verification of your entries, we find that you have debited Calcutta main 4th branch instead of Calcutta main. Please rectify the same. Then the branch will rectify it and send a report. So you call for the file from the head office or IT division regarding the entries to be passed or the mistakes to be filed. That you mention in your report stating that the branch has received a letter from the division for reconciliation, these entries are pending, the branch has not replied for the same, mentioned in the report.
Suppose they told that there is nothing received like that. What is it?
Then you said on an inquiry, we find the branch says no letter has been received from the head office department, that's all. According to the information explanation only, you are signing the report. This is an information explanation.
And every day you will have to see the proxy account is coming to zero. That is one of the important thing. Once it comes zero, all the other parameters will be sufficient.
So by analyzing one point we have noted where there is the ATM collect center is there, no? We found out 17.4 lakhs is pending. It is not at reconciled. We have given in the report.
Yes, that ATM.
Outsource is
outsourced.
outsourced.
Outsourced ATM. No, even not outsourced. What happens is the other bank's customer would have drawn the amount from here. They have to get money from the other bank. Similarly, they have to pay to the other. That is settled in a clearing, ATM clearing. It is settled. So that will be there. But you can ask for a confirmation.
We asked for a confirmation, sir, but subsequently they have not produced.
That you mentioned that there is difference in ATM payable, etc. For which confirmation not received. That's all. Or not shown to us at the time of audit.
That's what.
See, you have got a pen and ink, etc. to write.
Not like that, sir. Just I am asking whether we are doing a correct or not.
Correct. You are mentioned in the report. That's all. Stating that ATM reconciliation amount is so much pending. No confirmation received from the respective banks regarding the amount due or amount payable. It may be both payable or receivable.
As Magesh has pointed out, regarding there is a question in reconciliation of HO account with the branch.
Yes.
Nothing is happening. Everyone is telling it is a CBS.
CBS.
We have to write it is only CBS. Same question I have also asked. Is there any statement? Have you?
But every branch will get a statement from
Do
the
you have the
reconciliation
confirmation?
department.
What is your HO balance? Whether you have got the confirmation? No, sir. It is a CBS. Everyone is saying reconciliation means CBS. That's all.
Audit report, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a lot of points where we say these matters comes in other matters, which we say that these have to be taken care of at the head office. Even your provision, we don't make it to the branch level, it's done only at head office. So we talk about we say we draw attention to the following matters and other matters. We draw attention to the following matters relating to various adjustment provisions to be made at head office. Our opinion is not qualified in respect of the following adjustment provisions. dealt with at head office, we say that, and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, provision for taxation, like that. In that, there is one sentence which says, effect of adjustment that might arise upon the reconciliation and matching of outstanding entries in the inter-office accounts, impact of which is presently not quantifiable. So basically, we are passing that. See, earlier days we have to see certain things, but today, as sir was saying, there is a central place in the computerized environment where they do all the matching, and that is subject to an audit. It's an audit area by central audit. So, as branch auditors, we need not concern ourselves, and we can, as long as we put that in the audit report in this particular manner.
So, one more question I want to connect with you. So, if you see that LFIR inter-branch transaction, there is that you see any debit is originated from the branch. See, you are telling that central office is looking, but as a branch auditor, we have to comment upon it. How we have to comment?
Sir, originating debit are pre-95 period, sir. Nowadays, no originating debit, nothing.
We are answering for
Sir, the LFIR is old, 20 years old. It needs revision. The old LFIR still it is there.
You can comment on
Whether the LFIR asked about the credit card balance pending, credit card amount pending, or what is the fraud happened, internet banking, mobile banking, LFIR is silent about all these aspects.
DICGs also we are giving.
In fact, we are revising the LFIR also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, this is one doubt. This is regarding this renewal of limits within 180 days.
I saw a particular case in which the limits expired on 16/5/2017. Branch has given actually it was a zonal office limit. The zonal office has given an extension of 3 months. It is till 6/8/2017. Branch has forwarded the papers to the zonal office somewhere in the month of July. And the sanction was received on 30th of January, saying that this limit is tenable from 30th of January 2018 for 1 year. Now the question comes as, has this limit been renewed within 182 days? It's 180 days. Whether is it from 6/5/2017 or is it from 6/8/2017? 6/8. No, does it mean I give an extension of 3 months, then again I give an extension of another 3 months?
2 times they can give.
Only 2 times they can use it. They
And
can't
for
do
a
more than
period of 90 days.
Yes, short review can be done 2 times.
2 times.
Not exceeding 180 days.
No, from the after short review 180 days. It has been review and renewal, 2 things are there, sir. Review and renewal is there. You are confusing with both. First is review. If review, whether review has been done or not. Yes, review has been done. Short review can be done 2 times as with RBI norms. So after that only the renewal comes.
So that 180 days starts from the after that
Yes,
short review.
second review.
First my one doubt. And my second doubt is regarding this interest credits only to the extent of interest debits in CC accounts. So in many accounts what happens is they give a projection for whatever some X turnover, but when you total you find a poor turnover there, and there is an interest debit of 10,000 rupees. The next day when there is a credit, and the third day he withdraws that money. So what happens? So during the period the account comes below the limit, sanction limit, but there is no other transaction in the account. So the branch argues that interest has been served. Okay, that is it as far as, so we are following the RBI norms as far as, or IRAC norms as far as CC accounts is concerned. Beyond this, what is it an auditor can do? One thing we report as poor turnover. What has been projected has not been achieved. So the branch is advised to convert this into a term loan and fix EMIs, whatever it is. Okay, what would be, but is there anything to be done beyond this?
It will become
Because
technical NPA.
my one experience, what happened?
It will become technical NPA, sir. Poor operations.
What happened is, original RBI circular said, if any time during the accounting year, the accountings are not operated properly or more than 90 days, it will become an NPA. Subsequently, they issued another circular stating, if any defect in the account is rectified before the close of the balance sheet date, that can be taken and need not be classified as NPA. These two are contrary because first they issued clearly this should be classified as NPA. Secondly, there is a lot of pressure come from the bank. They issued a second circular stating that if the amount is paid before 31st March, it can be classified as a performing asset. So your case comes into the second category.
So it means it's not an NPA.
Yes, it's not.
No, there was one another case. see, actually, he had been sanctioned a CC limit of.
But only thing what you have to see is the interest payment, where from it has come. It has come from the cash remittance of the borrower, or from transfer entry from the same branch and sanctioning unit advance, or by clearing entry amount coming from some other bank or some other, that you have to see.
Thank you, sir. Just one more doubt. Sir, actually, this CC account, they had a limit of 25 lakhs. And he has been giving stock statements every month religiously, 40 lakhs, 45 lakhs. And interestingly, I went for an inspection. Just, I didn't go through the stock registers, nothing. Just by seeing the place, I found that stock could not be worth more than 5 or 6 lakhs. Then I asked him, what is this? You are giving a statement of 45 lakhs. You don't have a stock register, and I don't see any stock worth more than 5 lakhs or what. Then he started asking me, what's that? In Tamil, he started asking me, what is it you are asking all stupid questions to me? The earlier manager, I had one short-term loan, I had one medium-term loan. I was not able to pay the EMIs. The manager said, I will sanction one CC account, you square up all these loans. All is required is, we will debit an interest and you pay. That's it. We won't question you. You give stock statement. Okay. So finally, I classified it as an NPA account. Okay. A lot of objections were raised from the zonal office also, but I said this is an MOC account. And I also recorded what the conversations took place between myself and the borrower while I was doing that stock inspection in the concerned unit. One thing I want to know is whether I did a right job.
Any loan sanction to adjust the account not becoming NPA is also a NPA, and it is called evergreening process. That evergreening process is not perfected.
So in this process, what he just now told me, the stocks are not there, he should have directly classified as a doubtful assets. RBI has given a clear circular where there is a security portion is less than 50%, you can directly classify as doubtful debt. I don't know whether you have classified as doubtful. NPA is substandard, provisioning different. And the end of the session I will tell some of the interesting ways banks have hoodwinked the auditors. All these things branch managers are aware of it. What all we have discussed. Still, they are able to take auditors for a ride by making low provisions or less provision where the auditors are not seeing at all. When I don't mind naming the banks also. In the end, I will tell you.
Good evening, I'm Ganesh. Actually, we have audited a branch that we identify an account as an NPA. They argued a lot, even the regional manager come from all sort of explanation they given. Finally, we decided to declare that as an NPA. So, I want to make a provision to identify what is the earlier, it's a substandard too, I want to take it to as doubtful. So, I want to know what is the earlier provision they made, I want to know that because earlier period I worked manually, I done it. So, this time they have a system result when you put it automatically calculates. So, when I doing that one, I asked for the details of CCTV report. I gone there and when I saw the CCTV report, one day before the manager changed the CCTV report. And it's showing that account which is standard, I want to declare that as a substandard. And I saw the CCTV report that is coming as substandard. Then I asked the manager how it has come here. Because I saw that it's only standard when he given a report to me that now it's showing here as a substandard. Then she said, no, I changed it. I discussed with my regional manager, they asked me to change. I said, how can you change? Because we are giving MOC even in CCD report also we are giving report, so it will affect twice. Because this will give an impact, our MOC also will impact. Then they discussed, they said they cannot upgrade that. So they said we will continue the same report. You give your MOC also, so it will adjust with our central audit.
Yes.
Is it correct? Is it or we have to report anything in LFI?
No, one thing I am not able to understand is the branch Sumoto cannot make any adjustment in the NPA statement because the NPA statement is coming from the regional office some other place. The branch manager has no role to play in this except to furnish the information already. So within a day, unless he talk to the regional office and get a fresh statement, including this as a substandard, whatever it is, which way you want to classify, then if I am the auditor, I will accept it because my aim is only to classify that it has been done by the branch itself. I will not use MOC for that purpose because it has been done. I will maybe mention, without MOC, I will mention in the account statement, this account was non-performing performing asset, but subsequently on our finding it has been classified as NPA before we signed the balance sheet, hence it is no MOC is given, that's all.
But we have made the MOC.
MOC will be made, that will not be given effect, because already given effect is there. They will talk to the central auditors, this account has already...
In that also they done wrongly, because I classified substandard 1. Sorry, doubtful 1. She designed that as a substandard.
Then
I said I want to...
No, in the MOC you can get, the branch has classified as substandard, I am classifying it as doubtful 1, that's all. That MOC will be given effect there.
The MOC will come from not standard to doubtful,
but how
standard to doubtful.
Yes, I understood. How can they, as an auditor, we entered there? After that, will they allow to change the CCTV report? After finding our things, is it allowed?
The MOC, they have made this
They
letter.
avoid. They said we already passed the MOC. Please
No,
don't
I
put
don't
it.
know about the system was previously there. Before the auditor will find so they will send it to the regional office and they rectified, the statement will come to that. We used to accept those statements.
No, I accept that.
We never want that MOC to be given all these things, etc. We want only the account to be classified perfectly. When it is done by the branch itself, I have no objection over it. I objected it, they had done it, nothing wrong in it. What is the ethics or code of conduct you will get
I
attracted by
understand
accepting
that
this?
when we visiting the branch, they are giving some report. Subsequently, they are changing. How our audit trail will be withstand?
No,
So
that-
we don't have any trend because they
No,
can
no,
keep
trend
on
is-
changing. How can you accept
So
that?
here
That's
it
our-
is not done by the branch, it is done by an outsider, that is the regional office, they are doing it. You are getting it only a statement from here. The branch manager is not doing it. If he is doing, then I can find fault with him. He has got a hand in this. He informs the regional office and asks him to change it, and you get the statement and have to change
Yes,
it.
sir. It's with our knowledge. It has been done. We accept. It has been not done without knowledge. After we seeing the report, we came to know that it has been changed without our knowledge.
Unless you say it, how he knows that it is a class?
We said that we are going to give MOC.
You would have discussed with him. He said I am
Yes.
going to give MOC, but
they changed it automatically.
in order
They
to
changed.
avoid MOC, they have changed it. I don't think anything wrong in that.
Afterwards,
My purpose is to classify that account. It has been done.
Afterwards, if they were reversed, what will be our effect?
Oh.
See, without our
Now you
knowledge-
met in the MOC. You put in the MOC. Is it not now?
No, now we have
Now put in the MOC. That MOC go to the statutory order. Is it now?
Yes.
Then it is his duty. Why are you about it?
We have put
To
MOC.
answer your question, see, ultimately it's all MIS is there based on what is there in the database. All these are reports. They gave a report saying that it is standard. You found that it has to go to NPA, substandard or doubtful. They themselves admitted now. Immediately I have changed it. Okay, nothing wrong. Once and when they change it, it is not a major issue. But they communicate to you so that the loop is closed completely. That is the only thing. Then you will get a confidence that there is no. Otherwise, you will have a lack of confidence on them. That is one aspect. Then later on, as long as you have signed all the audit reports, all the SAF advanced the classification and all that, everything will be there. After that, if they change it, then it is not MOC. For him, it will be behind bars. Because he is doing something which is fragile.
That's
So,
why we would.
to that extent, we must have our audit, our office copy.
office copy.
That's all.
They are not intimated. We kept the CCTV report with us. Without
Yeah.
intimating, after accidentally I want to check, I want to check, then only I find out.
These are minor
they change.
matters, not a major
No,
issue.
in
But
fact,
see, one thing is, putting an MOC is not a crown for us.
SCA can overrule
Objective is
the
to make sure that the real thing is reflected in the bank account. That's all.
No, previously the system is like that only, sir. The auditor will come, what are the objections they will make it. Then they will send it to the IT center, get it incorporated, all the defects mentioned by the auditor. Then the auditor will sign the balance sheet without any MOC. That was system. Subsequently, what happened is the Reserve Bank of India, AFT, they come and they told, no, we wanted to know what is the NPA position before the auditor comes and what is the position after the auditor comes, what is the effect of auditor's remarks, how much they have classified as NPA, because that is the judgment on which the auditors are going to be assessed. If you give NPA only, you will be assessed as a good auditor, otherwise you will not termed as a good auditor. So RBI wanted to know what is the total NPA, what is the total NPA after the audit, how much is the contribution from the auditors to decide whether the audit should be there or whether it will be from 50 crores to 100 crores or 5 crores to 2 crores. Like that they will decide only based on this.
Sir, my question is this. Old NPA, there was no security value, and suddenly the security value has been put up and or increased security value. How is it possible? This should be. This has been done. So what we should be? I have.
Is it the same security?
Huh?
Is it the same security or different security?
Nil security.
This security they have they have given the nil security previously.
Right.
Then they have increased the value of the security also they put, and the old security value was there, that also increased. Some cases they have increased also that value.
One thing is possible. Suppose it is a property taken prior.
Property no, sir. Stock only this. Small loans, stocks is the
Stocks,
security.
right.
Stocks is the only security. Property it's okay, sir. Property it may
Fluctuations will be there.
the valuation report they can take, but it's a stock. And previously it has taken nil value. How they can increase the value? How they can put the value?
Very careful. No, you
so
need not accept the valuation.
No,
you can
we have
classify.
reversed totally. We have totally because provisioning is affecting.
Yes.
So we have totally reversed that
Yes,
one.
actually.
Then they have. I asked to the manager because this has been given by the regional office instruction, and by overnight we have done these all things.
Let them do whatever they want, but we put it in MOC.
So this is what I was about to tell. See, in one of the bank, I can name the bank also, it's a Union Bank of India, whoever has done the audit. The educational loan, less than 4 lakhs, there is no security at all. Union Bank of India has created a security artificially and made a less provision. By this, really crores and crores of rupees which should have been NPA have not been. The entire Union Bank, it has taken place. One of the best friend who has done the Union Bank of India has told me, and even the GM of the bank has requested him not to show it because they have been adopting this, because we don't verify that at all, provisioning at all. So what I request you is, you have to see this also. See, less than 4 lakhs, there is no security at all for the educational loan. How the security comes? So my friend has refused to sign the audit report and came back to Chennai, and finally again he was called. Again they have given to and fro by airfare. He had been to Coimbatore and then signed and came. See, why I am telling is, banks will be doing so many things, and similarly banks, in order to get the, as a friend said, credit in the account, they deposit one check. Once the check is deposited, the system will take blindly it is a credit. Next day the check will return. It is so many things are there. So we will have to see so many, all operations in the account. And one more thing I want to tell my friends, whatever the audit you have done, it is subject to AFI, Annual Financial Inspection from Reserve Bank of India. They will select at random only. They may, some of the branches, what you inspected, what you audited may come. If they find something is wrong, where the account should have been classified as NPA, where you have not done, they will write a letter to you. So that's why don't compromise, don't give the benefit of doubt. That's all. Thank you.
So what happens if we classify wrongly as NPA?
It's a good question, sir. Because all along we have been spending our time and energy only to see that the bank has classified a performing assets as a non-performing, or non-performing assets as performing. But we should also, our duty is also that when a performing account is classified as an NPA, we should rectify that also. Your duty, even if you don't do it, still the letter will come to you.
No, we have classified it as NPA, but whereas it may not be NPA, as a professional institute and all.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
No, so it is a fact
And
that
they are
No. When a performing assets is shown as a non-performing, you have signed it classifying as a non-performing. It is also a violation of RBI norms, because usually in NPA norms has been applied as classification done as per the RBI norms. As per the RBI norms, this account should not have been classified as an NPA. It has been classified. Then your certificate is wrong.
Okay, then they ask us to fill the MOC. Like for example, I have filled 160 accounts. After that, when we ask for the valuation of the stock, etc., they don't give us, the period is also very less. And what we put the name, account number, amount, etc., and hand it over to them. What will happen then?
No, you put the amount, is it not there?
Yeah, amount we have put. The balance amount, outstanding amount, customer ID, and then the account number, and the...
And you also classified and which category it comes, substandard, D1, D2, 3, that also you did it.
Yes.
then automatically provision will take care of.
Yes.
And in case of, he asked a question on that stock. So how to substantiate that stock is not there? I cannot say that I have looked and glanced and the stock according to me is less. I will give you an example where I have
That's
done.
why I say going inspection to places, it's not giving any confidence to you. If you go to Vivek and company or some other company here, you can see so many TVs and etc. These are all branded items displayed those companies for the purpose of display, it is not belong to these people.
Yes.
If you go to the Vivek and company, you can say so many stocks will be there, get satisfied having seen all the stock. It is not. None of them belong to this company. It is all display purposes. It is owners are different persons. So you only go with the stock statements. I go the stock statements signed by the company. That is evidence for me whether stock is there. If you go there, then I will ask purchase details. Some vouchers I will see, invoices, whether the value given in the invoices and the stock statement are same, etc. Then I will see some of the sales invoices. What is the sale invoice is putting, whether the same amount is mentioned in the stock statement or a lesser amount. These are all the things normally we get accustomed to do in any other audit. Same thing you can apply here also.
That is a stock statement of a retail chemist. That is the retail drugstore.
Pharmacy.
And he says, pharmacy. He says, I have a stock of 1 crore 90 lakhs. And normally all the retail pharmacy are stock which is not paid. It is always paid after 60 days or 120 days. So all are not paid stock. They simply give the stock statement, say 1 crore 90 lakhs rupees. And they don't give the creditor statement also along with it. Banks are accepting as it is.
Yes.
And there is a CC limit of 25 lakhs and calling for enhancement of 75 lakhs. Now I want to substantiate that these stocks do not value more than 10 lakh rupees. What can, as an auditor, I can do?
No, you can mention in the, if it is a statutory audit, you can mention in the report. LFR annexes, discussion about the large borrowed accounts, you can add it one sentence. One of this particular.
Nowadays it is more than 5 crore, 2 crore.
No, not necessary. It could be a large borrower. Even a small borrower, if you say the stock statement is not satisfied, the valuation is not done properly, you can mention name of the account. This is the concern we have in this account.
Ask a request to, can we send a request letter to the manager that you please arrange for a valuation report of this stock?
No, don't do it. You mentioned in the report and come away. Why you go and deep into that? And this area where you are not supposed to. My duty is only say that I am not satisfied with the stock statement, etc. You mentioned in the report. Let them bring the stock statement and answer the statutory auditor or their head office, etc. later.
So we can put in NPA and come.
NPA you have to decide twice. Then you have to go for the valuation.
Okay, so see, I have taken the rental agreement.
No, one thing is keep when the stock statement etc. are secondary.
Yes.
What I do is I go through the accounts, go to the screen, find the account, how the operation the account, the credits are good, the interests are being served, these things are there. I will give you less value for the stock statement etc. Because my point is only I should get back the amount. Yes, I am getting back because the credits are coming into the account. If you want to do research on it, I will call for the balance sheet of the company, find out from the product what is the total sales, how much is accounted in the OCC account, whether they say what is the percentage, 50%, 20%, how much is accounted. Then I can question, the balance sheet says sales of 2 crore, here only 1 crore, what happened to the balance 1 crore? Those questions you can ask. That you can mention in the report.
Balance sheet had 1 crore as sale and is showing 1 crore 66 lakhs is the March statement. And in the statement of February, it says 99 lakhs as stock. So in that 1 month, I have checked the balance bank, that is the account. 70 lakh purchases is not there. I asked, you please give the purchase
Invoices.
They said it is not possible. We will not
Information, that's all. We cannot waste much time on things except just putting a one word and then close the chapter.
Supporting documents I enclosed with the LFAR is rental deed, drug license, TNGST to prove that this is the only area in which they have stored the stock. Apart from this, there is no other area.
Sir, what you have done is correct, but according to me, you have crossed from the area of auditor to the investigator.
Forensic audit.
So this,
Your area only auditor. I do the audit because the 7 days, 8 days I can only audit. I can't investigate.
okay, right. So this should not be given at all.
Yes.
Sir, one account where the property is the security, that time they have taken the valuation also. Once it comes the renewal stage, Then we found there was no valuation more than 3 years passed. So more than 3 years passed without renewal. How can you renew the accounts? They have sent to the regional office because it's a regional office power to renew the accounts. Okay. And then regional office sent the short review for 3 months and sanction the limit. But they are also stated this plot is not approved plot. Hence this is not taken the valuation report. So please advise to the party to take the approve the plot and get the valuation. But till that there was no approved. Then security is not there.
Nil, security is nil.
Security is nil.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then definitely we have to make the NPA only because
Yes,
the
yes,
security totally goes out. So I have met but they are discussing no you should not because it's earlier account we have taken the valuation.
On the
But now
date of my valuation, whether the value is there or not, that's the question. The value is nil, even it is there previously or subsequently, but on the 31st March if it is not there, it is an NPA.
Sir, this TDS on NRI interest, how much they have to deduct?
33%.
They have deducted only where they have not provided PAN number, they have deducted 20% only.
No.
So we
As
have
far as the
mentioned
NRI
in
is
our
concerned,
report.
irrespective of the PAN or not, irrespective of the 15GH cannot be given in the case of NRI people, and 33% has to be deducted.
We have mentioned that in our audit report.
Either because of the circular, some 30. So DTA rates are 30%, whichever is less. It is because in the software itself they have given in that one. They have given that DTA rates. So whichever is less is taken and it is deducted according to that. So I think that is correct.
No, when
No,
PAN
whichever
is
is
not
less.
given,
No,
DTA
I am not
declared.
saying about PAN. So sir is saying about 33%. So 33%.
No, bank has given a circular stating that in the case of NRI, you have to deduct 33%.
DTA we cannot apply
So
for
sir, I am
each and
saying
every
bank to
Ah.
bank it differs,
Ah.
bank to bank based on the DTA rates, and if it is say 15% or 20%, yes, because there is a CBDT circular itself, so which is favorable to the C should be considered, based on which that rate is taken and that is deducted and that is inbuilt into the software. That's what I am saying.
Sir, whether we can find out which customer belongs to which
Which country?
country,
No,
whether
that-
DTA is there
that
or
was
not,
if it- no,
it is
that was
practically
if-
not possible.
No, if that is the case, then that is the central office, software which has been, provided like that one, and it is taken and the DTA rates have been taken and it has been deducted. So when we came across like that one, when we asked, then only we could see all these things.
So the DTA etc. only the assessee has to claim, it is not binding on the bank to apply the DTA agreement and give effect of it. It is only assessee while file the return, he should claim
Yes,
it.
to claim.
No, if that is the case, either the insured or the central auditors should take up and accordingly it is at the helm of the affairs, that is the central office level of the banks concerned.
That's a policy decision to be taken, but normally I am connected with 3 or 4 banks. We issued a circular stating that NRI account no for 15H, no 15G, straight deduction.
No, I am not saying about 15G.
No, even deduction also 33%.
About the rate only.
He lives
See,
physically.
it is very difficult for us to find out which customer is given, which country is there, which DTA agreement is there, whether it is valid or not. No, it is not, bank cannot spend time on
Bank it is happening.
bank will not spend time on these
No, the
things.
same bank it is happening.
We got other better jobs to do than this. It is the duty of the income tax officer, let him take care.
Sir, RBI circular says this is the position and the Income Tax Act says this is the position. Which position auditor has to adopt?
Regulator overrules the
You have
act.
to see RBI only, as far as audit is
Then he is right.
Regulator overrules the act.
Yes.
Regulator overrules the act.
Yes,
Bank which
yes,
we audited,
yes,
it is that circular.
yes.
Sir, this gold loan below 1 lakh, they are treating as an agriculture advance. And
Sir,
they don't
you
get-
are, sir, one question I asked, sir. Your product like this code and contact institute accounting guidelines standard everything says if account is a bad account you have to make provision for it, right? Full provision make it. But you accept 10%, 20% substandard, 50%, how you accept those things? Is a regulator instruction?
gold loan below 1 lakh, they are treating as agriculture advance and charge only 7% interest. They are telling it is an internal surplus, they are following that.
The surplus, sir, you can.
Correct. With that they can.
See, 2-3 years back, RBI has banned agricultural gold loan in city. Now they have diluted and said it can be given. Earlier they said you will have to get some proof. Now they said it can be given by a declaration. And the irony is RBI is giving even interest equalization for this also, agricultural gold loan.
I am going to use this fund for the agricultural process. That's all. I didn't have a sitta adangal, etc.
They are taking that and
Yes, only declaration, only declaration.
In Solingen branch, one very big IT company, 370 agricultural loans were given and at 7% rate of
Yes.
Solingen branch comes under the semi-urban, not city.
See, since you raised a gold loan, and we have come across many banks, private banks given a loan for a pawnbrokers, amounting to several crores, 20 crores, 30 crores, 40 crores. See, they are not the, what is the main principle of gold loan? He should be the owner. Is he a owner? Pawnbroker is a owner. Then, we know very well, but what we are mentioning in LFA, we are mentioning, many of the gold loans have been given to others other than the owner, that's all.
Small dots, sir.
Yeah, big dots ready be.
LFR we are writing, no?
Yes.
All the comments.
Ah.
Whether they read, sir.
That is what we say that various branches of the institute where we go, you write in the LFR so that it will attract the attention of the auditor. If you write NA, yes, no, NA, nobody will read it.
Except the central audit. Central auditors, they are reading all LFA. We are central auditors, we read all the LFA. Don't, I am not telling
You can reply to him.
That's all. That my experience I have. That is what the zonal level also they have told if the auditors are right in this column, the central auditors will view seriously. No, sometimes the branch auditors we called for, we have questioned them, they have answered it, that they have read it. Be frank.
So, in the case of staff loan, we put a NPA for it. It's a staff loan.
Staff loan, how will be given?
How will be NPA?
Is a suspended employee, a dismissed employee?
So it's not paid, all other employees is paid properly except 7 employees not paid, even they take an effort and they brought the money back. But we said it's as a 31st March, it's an NPA account, because they are not paid any principal, interest, anything not paid.
No, all the employees, they have been given salary. From the salary, after deduction of this only, the salary will be given to them.
Sir, here, to supplement this question, I am telling you, a branch which I have audited, I wanted to make 1.5 crore as NPA of a staff, housing loan and other loans. Jointly with son, jointly with husband, so many loans. All the loans I wanted to make. Immediately they called the zonal office. Zonal manager called that particular employee and immediately within 3 hours, they have regularized the account. I have written in the LFR, it was NPA on that day. Before completion of audit, they have remitted so much of money in that account. They said if you make it as an NPA, the life of the staff will go. That is what they have told. Then okay, you do something. Then they have requested in 3 hours, they have transferred money. Where from they have transferred, I don't know. It was credited. Then I have put a note in the LFR. This account was NPA on that date, but it was regularized on such a date before completion of audit.
So what happens is, in the case of staff loans, there is agreement between the staff and the bank that whatever loan I avail, it can be deducted from my salary and balance only given to them. So in this case what happens is, in addition to the staff loan, that is what is sanctioned by the agreement between the government of India and the staff union, etc. This is additional loan given by them. If the third loan or fourth loan is the same property, they will give additional loan. Then they are ranked with the other customers, not as a staff. No staff rate is given in the case.
Yes.
In such cases, you are right.
In that one, 3 employees have retired. They are giving loan up to the age of 75.
70. Yes, that is why I said.
So we said.
Pension is there.
So still, we see that in pension, it's not sufficient to show that repay the amount. They're showing a rental income in that one. So So we objected it. It is not possible to recover this, so we would like to go for a NPA account, this one. Then immediately they recovered the money. Yes.
No, that's right. That is a rank with the ordinary customers and all the RBI rooms are fit.
But that employee cannot be taken as part with the existing
employees.
One more thing also they said, the region manager came and discussed to drop this MOC, then we are stubborn on that, but finally they said, we'll take up this with our CFO and CFO will discuss with the central audit, we'll drop this, even you put this one.
That is certainly not bother, sir.
Once you sign the balance sheet, I am not bothered about it.
Let them take
Let them take it.
Whether they are adding it is none of our business. We need not have to worry.
Sir, even LFAR, they are taking responsibility. Once you are giving, they will attach in their report, branch auditor, it will go to the
This is the third loan given, not within. The deduction is not coming from salary.
It's the first one or second one?
Third loan, that's a third loan.
Education loan, all those loans.
and
That
vacant
is, where the deduction is not linked to salary.
Vehicle loan,
Also
housing
vacant
loan,
not linked with the salary.
employees transfer from this branch to some other branch, nobody bothered to recover the money. After we identified their talking to them, even the files are not available. Files is not available to check the vehicle books.
Normally, some other branches they are sanctioning it. They are forgetting to deduct it. Most of the cases.
So now all the banks' salaries are centralized. All the banks' salaries are centralized. No branch is paying salary. They get only directly credit to their SP account balance after making deduction for all the loans.
Sir, in this case, one NPA is equal to all NPA. What will happen to that? This staff,
Yes.
one loan become NPA. Yes. What about the other loans of the same staff?
It will become NPA.
NPA, sir. All NPA, sir.
NPA, all NPA.
Sir, I want to have that.
Based on the customer ID,
LFAR.
because it is at one branch, in one branch an account is identified as NPA. The customer, it is based on customer ID.
Yes, if you give the customer ID, you can find out what are the.
The problem is, it is possible for me to say about the X branch only. If it is in A branch, there is for the same customer ID, there is another account. And how the system,
No, if you put the system, if you give the customer ID, the system will give all the loans wherever there.
That is what I ask the branch auditor, because that loan is in the A branch. I am not concerned with the A branch. I am concerned with the X branch only. So how about the account in the A branch? How it is taken care of? Because
You mentioned in MOC, you are going to classify it as account NPA. You mentioned the MOC.
That is not by that, because A is, it is in the some other branch. That
Talking
account
about
is
other
not in
branch.
my branch.
Let it be. You mentioned here, let the office take care of it to remove it or add it. You mentioned it, you are that auditor is not going to classify it, and somebody should do it.
No, the MOC which I am passing is in respect of the X branch. So how I bring that MOC of the A branch into this X branch?
You will not bring it.
Then the rule applied to other loans of the other customer also. Is it? The customer is also having loan in this branch and also Delhi branch also. This one is sanctioned, classified as NPA. How are going to other
I
loan?
am not saying about the supplement.
No, not supplement. There the party is having loan at Bombay, the party is having loan at Delhi. You are auditing the Bombay branch. You are classifying this account.
Only one customer ID, sir.
What are you going to do for Delhi?
No, I am not. That's what I am asking. So am I too?
No.
Am I too?
No.
Mention the LFAR.
Mention
Mention the
LFA.
LFAR.
See, what is happening is very simple, sir. Our boundaries are fixed as far as the numbers are concerned. You can only make these things as NPA. But you can give a lead, because the poor Delhi auditor may not know. So you give a lead in the LFIR, and the central auditor will catch it, and then there are some pitfalls. There are gaps between different branch auditors, and that's why we give a lead to the central auditor. There is a similar account there in Delhi branch also. He may not have made it, so I'm highlighting it here. Put it in the LFIR and other matters also. If the central auditor goes through all the LFIR, he'll catch it and then he'll take it. Perhaps tomorrow there will come a situation where the central auditors will bring this as part of their audit program. They will take all the customer accounts with various branches and see if there is NPA in one place, whether it is NPA in other places. They will bring it as part of their audit step. Because today we only take data and do analytics. Most of the place analytics is done. So it can be one of the good steps for analytics for future also.
A very leading bank in this year, you are subjected to. You are not allowed to be.
So this is what is the solution to the particular matter.
Sir, what happens, suppose one account is NPA in this branch. you get the entire payment on 31st March, get the account as performing, or the 29th March. But the amount comes from the another branch in Assam where the loan is sanctioned for the same fellow on credit year. How will you find out this one? As an auditor, as a banker I can find out. As an auditor you tell me.
Yes, if I go to that one and if I just explore that, the credit, if I explore that, I will be in a position to know back.
There are certain systems will not allow you to explore the credit. There are certain systems. You will not say where from the credit has come.
In Finacle it is possible to explore.
Finacle possible. If you go to,
so that is possible.
yes, it is not possible in some
Sir,
other
we are
systems.
restricted to the branch which we are auditing. Yeah, we are restricted
That
to
is why,
our
that's why I
branch.
told from the
Only with
beginning.
this branch. Have nothing to do with other branch.
That is why I told him for the staff loan also.
Sir, the branch managers have been requesting big borrowers to part some amount to some of the borrowers in the same branch to bail out the account becoming NPA. How you are going to see it, sir? One. Number two is, suppose in a branch, A is a NPA and A is sanctioned additional facility, you are able to find out. What this triplicate branch manager is telling Saidapur branch manager to sanction the loan and the money will come from there, and for that party he will sanction. See, managers are adopting all different tricks. So for that you will have to see what is the SMA as on December, SMA 2. SMA 2 as on December should be SMA NPA only as on 31st. If it is not there, you please see whether the credits are real.
See, one bank, what happened is, Canara Bank, I took the audit on 27th of March itself. I found some account there, it become NPA because of the non-remittance of account. When I raised the matter to the staff, etc., next day, working day, all the staff members put some money and paid the amount and get it adjusted as a loan. It is not paid by the borrower. It is paid, besides, sir, he will come and give it to us later. What you can do? Everything happens in front of what MOC will give, what report he will give, just tell me. There is no rule say that somebody should not pay the loan account.
You can say there is an excess between staff and the borrower. That's all. See how many of us.
The doubt goes whether the original note itself is taken by the staff.
See how many of us knows that the head office is seeking the performance of the auditor. All the branches have been asked to submit a report how the audit was, how many MA, how was it behaving, all these things they are asking. I don't know why they are asking.
Sir, this institute should come out, sir. Is it not? The institute, the council should come out with yes, it is prevalent. Many of the members are knowing about this. Yes, all these things are there.
What purpose they are asking? I don't understand.
Whether they can give audit next year or
No,
not.
whether to consider from next year or not.
No, the real purpose of asking this, I know because Basha knows what position I was holding in Indian Bank. There are certain auditors I know, the principal has not visited the branch at all. Only apprentice have visited the branches. And there are certain auditors in Ooty branch, the Ooty branch was not given to them, they are given to only the Metropolitan branch, but the auditor all the days he stayed only in Ooty, not in Metropolitan at all. So somebody should say that because the audit is given to the auditors thinking his professional capacity is more, he can do justice to the audit, etc. So when the auditor is not attending the branch at all, what way we have to report? This is a performance report. Then the manager will say the auditor is not with the branch at all. Next time you will not get audit. And what is wrong in giving a performance review? If a wrong performance given, that's a different matter. But what is wrong in giving every staff? I am retired as a general manager in Indian Bank. Every year I have to give self-appraisal about what I have done, etc. Performance appraisal I will give it. No, what is wrong in giving a performance appraisal of the auditor by the branch?
It should not be directly by the auditing, maybe by the person who are above him or something like that.
No, it goes to the regional manager. See, all the branch managers submit, it goes to the zonal manager. Zonal manager will consolidate it and give it.
Then it directly affects the independence of the auditor. So what will be the thinking of the auditor? I don't say that it should not be appraisal. It should be by a higher up, not by the auditing.
No, that is why the information should come out only to the branch people. Branch people only. He is interacting only with you only.
No, he is the auditing. If
Yes.
the performance appraisal is by the auditing himself,
It will be appraised by the higher authorities.
Sir, attendance slip signed by the branch manager. From that day we can know how many days he have audited.
Yes, that all these things come only all these come only recently because of what is happening. That is what, whenever I go to the bank audit, my first sentence will be there like this. There are as many bad auditors as bank managers. There are as many good auditors as bank managers. I can't give a clean sheet to the auditors. I have been in this section for several years and I have taken cases to the disciplinary authorities on several auditors for not doing their duty properly. With much hesitantly, because being a chartered accountant, I don't want to do it, but force circumstances I have to do it. There is one auditor who has sent the report to the previously long back to the Prime Minister of India. Then we took objection. It is a contract between you and ourselves. You are not supposed to send the report to any third party. Yes. It went up to court and court has held you are correct. You are not supposed to release it to the Prime Minister or Finance Minister directly. You have to give only to the bank.
Yes. Sir, it is one of the case. Now it is presenting as a customer. He is performing as he is proved everything. Now the auditor made us NPA. He is in the stand to go to the court. Now it is in the hanging situation and kept pending for. He is having all the way this 2 crores is a surplus balance. I don't know how he has made us an NPA, we don't know.
I know another auditor who has taken the list of NPA and contacted the customers, and your account has been classified as an NPA. You have to negotiate OTS payment, come to me, I will settle it. What do you say for this?
It's a good suggestion, sir. We will also
You want to see such experts, sir?
Yes. Unfortunately, that auditor became subsequently the statutory auditor of the same bank.
Central auditor.
Yes, central auditor.
So threatening also there.
Recently I heard one branch when auditor want to give an MOC, he has been kept in the lock.
Sir, your own Indian bank they threatened me. 2009 I think so.
Fortunately I came out.
Kanjivaram AGM.
I would have returned you. What threat you got?
No, you do whatever you like.
That's what. That is a tendency of the manager.
Make NPA.
Sir, whatever you put MOC, sir, you know botheration, we will take care at head office. Whatever you put it in the report, no problem.
I will get it. In that way he replied, I will see you.
That is what the performance, in the performance review we will write, but all the performance review, see.
Now, in the light of that, is it right?
No, one thing, because I want to share. Performance review is first given by the branch manager. It comes to zonal office. Zonal office consolidate, eliminate what should not be given, what should be given only, it comes to head office. After the head office, it comes to as a department in charge of accounts department. I prepare a note to the managing director. These are all the points given by the branch about these auditors. We have to report this to the Bank of India. Can we report this? Then MD goes through it. MD finalizes it. It goes to the audit committee of the board. Audit committee also goes through it. Then they will finalize, yes, these are all the points you can report to the Reserve Bank of India. So many stages are there. It is not simply the branch manager writes straight to the Reserve Bank governor.
But is there any nexus between NPA, MOC and the next year appointment?
Not at all. Only there is a nexus between the Reserve Bank of India and you regarding the appointment of next year if you don't show the NPA.
Can I seek the clarification? Sir, in LFAR, we are supposed to comment on if the non-corporate associates are enjoying 10 lakhs above limit, we are supposed to see whether audited financials are obtained by the bank. I observe that 44AB report is there, but profit and loss account and balance sheet is signed simply by the auditor without telling anywhere in that balance sheet or P&L account that is the audited balance sheet. And in some other cases I have observed that prepared from books of accounts and 44AB is attached.
Unfortunate. But one thing, when the balance sheet profit and loss account is signed by a chartered accountant, it is audited balance sheet. How can you say it is not an audited balance sheet?
Audit report
is not there, that's all.
Audit report is not there.
Also there. Report is also there.
How will we know that this is the audited balance sheet for which that particular report is made? There are so many cases I have observed, come across.
Technically you are right. technically you're right.
They have to certify that this is right by report of even date, some auditors sign. Some auditor, this is the report mentioned in our, this is the
Form
annexed.
3CA, there is one class is there. We have audited the balance sheet of this, etc. Report is annexed. That only we are counting in 44AB, that is there. So if that statement is there, you can accept it.
Yes.
Our report dated by this is there. Form 3CA, second sentence.
CCD has that thing.
Yes.
Should not the auditor mention in the balance sheet that at least audited balance sheet or provide my report?
Correct.
Some indication that that is the balance sheet he has certified.
You're right. But substance
So
over form.
3CA comes for more than 40 lakhs. What she is asking is 10 lakhs, no? I think.
10 lakhs are not.
Limit 10 lakhs and above.
Limit. Then 3CA will not.
Non-corporate borrowers of limit.
No, limit is only 10 lakhs and above. There, tax audit may
Tax
different.
audit may be
Limit.
different.
Ranking limit.
And the borrower has borrowed more than 10 lakhs. For non-corporate assets.
Corporate working capital.
If there is a form 3CB, you can use that because that gives you, see, there are two aspects, madam. One is the auditor has not done the job properly in terms of reporting. That is one aspect. Despite that, you look at substance over form and see whether there is an audit done by somebody, there is a signature, even though there may be certain deficiencies in the reporting aspect. If you have that form 3CD, it's a very good comfort for you. The form 3CD is not there is no tax audit. See whether they have signed it, despite not having an audit report, despite saying it has been compiled or anything like that. You can take that into cognizance, but mention in your thing that the auditor has not properly given. You can mention that too, that's all. That's all you can do. If you want to go one more step as an investigator, you have to report that auditor that he has not done the job properly as a professional. But that is not our, not in our purview. It's not our purview at all. That's it. As a bank auditor, you have to take that and take it from it. That's it.
You mean to say that if the balance sheet is not indicated as audited, if 44AB report is annexed, we can deem that the balance sheet and wait as audited?
No, it is your call. Whether this you want to take or not. You see, you are an experienced auditor. So you have to take a judgment whether you take it or not.
Generally, how about? Generally, what is the thing what we have?
I will take it.
You take it
As long as I am comfortable that somebody has genuinely audited it, technically is not knowing about how to go about, I will take it. In fact, I will call him and find out.
Sir, we cannot say whether it is genuinely audited or I have seen one financial statement. A non-chartered accountant using bad loan, using a membership number of Mylapore chartered accountant. See, some seal is there, some signature is there. We presume it is audited.
In which case you don't take it.
That is all.
In which case you don't take it.
If you have a doubt, don't take it.
Don't take it. That's all. There is nothing. It's a judgment. A judgment call you have to take or I have to take based on our
Can't go
comfort.
to the fraud cases. We go to the real cases, whether we can accept or not. Fraud cases, you have to leave it.
Different.
Sir, beyond Vipuram, we see that most of the statements have auditor seal is a normal tax consultant. Even the bank manager is telling that it's auditor signature. Either it's not auditor, they are not accepting. Even bank manager is not known this.
No, you mentioned in the report it is more than 10 lakhs cases, the audited balance sheet is not attached.
They don't say it is audited, it is certified by a chartered accountant, it is not mentioned.
More than 10 lakhs is the audited balance sheet, but some of the LFA or some banks are using 25 lakhs. What is this meaning? Why, how they can...
But this 10 lakhs, as you said, it should be raised to
10
25
lakhs,
lakhs.
but some
The
banks
10
are
lakhs
writing
some
25 lakhs.
20 years back.
RBI said.
20 years back the 10 lakhs were fixed. Now it is will be...
Same LFAR, sir. 20 years back, what LFAR was there, it is there even today.
No, 2002 it was revised.
Not up to the mark.
Concluding the mark.
Yeah.
So you went up the issue today?
Yes, sir.
Sir, before Mr. Sulfan said he will explain a few cases.
Yeah, if I told no, how the thing I told her that itself.
Sir, one thing is that when you go to the branch, don't go to the branch that branch manager is an enemy and we are going to fight a war with him. You enter the branch, everything is correct, we are going to sign a fresh balance sheet and good balance sheet. If that is your intention, everything will be normal. If you go there with a doubt or everything, that you cannot sign on balance sheet at all with a full heart and etc. That is my experience as a banker, as an auditor, as a director.
We are going for good intention, but once we are going there, then we are finding nothing is there, sir. What we have instructed, they have not done anything. Then our intention becomes wrong, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sir, today is a very peculiar session, learning and experience of the branch audit.
Good experience.
And we have got a very good input from you. And this point, all these points have been jotted out, and this we will take it or escalate it for the next year. And we have been getting a lot of good inquiries from window dressing and difference in stock. The statement vis-a-vis with the balance sheet, and transporters are not eligible for some loans and all. Surface payment made subsequently becoming standard, and commitment charges, processing charges, 8 hours. So many things we are getting. It is very good session. It is a very learning for us also. Thank you very much for your words. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the only session where we talked less and we learned more.
Yes. Thank you.
On behalf of SIRC and all members, we are presenting a small memento to our panelists.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really excellent. I need that insurance to continue.